Panthro, a name that echoes through the halls of Thundera. He wasn't born into royalty, he earned it. From a young age, Panthro displayed an unwavering sense of justice and a heart filled with courage. This was no mere youthful whim. Panthro dedicated himself to the rigorous training of the Thunderian Army. His natural strength was impressive, but he knew raw power wasn't enough. He embraced discipline and mastered strategy. This combination of strength, intellect, and unwavering integrity set him apart. Time marched on, and with each passing season, the bonds between Panthro, Grune and Claudus grew stronger. They were more than just comrades in arms, they were brothers. Panthro's tactical mind often proved invaluable during their missions. Grune relished the opportunity to put Panthro's plans into action. Claudus ensured their actions always aligned with the principles of honor and justice. Panthro's reputation as a skilled warrior and a brilliant strategist spread throughout the Thunderian Army. His victories in the field became the stuff of legends. He was promoted to captain, then to commander. He led from the front, inspiring his troops with his courage. His friendship with Grune and Claudus continued to flourish. The weight of responsibility settled heavily on Panthro's shoulders as he ascended to the rank of general. He was a leader entrusted with the lives of countless others. He trained harder than ever, pushing himself to his limits. He believed in the Thunderian Army and its ideals. He led by example, demonstrating courage under fire. As time marched on, a new generation of Thunderian warriors emerged. Among them were Lion-O and Tygra, the sons of Claudus. Panthro took it upon himself to mentor the young princes. He taught them the importance of discipline, strategy, and honor. He recognized their individual strengths and tailored his teachings accordingly. Panthro's relationship with Lion-O and Tygra went beyond that of a mere mentor and student. He became not just their teacher, but their friend. He shared with them stories of his own past, lessons learned and mistakes made. He taught them that true strength lay in the courage to stand up for what is right. Their bond grew stronger with each passing day. Even as Panthro found solace in his mentorship of Lion-O and Tygra, a shadow loomed on the horizon. Grune, his once loyal friend, had succumbed to a darkness within. The betrayal cut deep, a wound that ran far deeper than any blade could inflict. Panthro felt a surge of anger, a righteous fury at his former friend's betrayal. He knew he couldn't stand idly by while his former friend destroyed everything he held dear. The drums of war echoed across the plains of Thundera. Grune had unleashed his forces, his ambition a raging fire. At the heart of the conflict stood Panthro, his heart heavy with a mixture of anger, sorrow, and unwavering determination. The air crackled with energy as the two armies collided. Panthro fought with the ferocity of a cornered beast, his every strike fueled by a lifetime of training. The battle raged for what felt like an eternity. Panthro, his body weary, his spirit unbroken, fought on. He watched as young Thunderian soldiers fell beside him. He felt a surge of anger at Grune, the architect of this chaos. He fought his way through the chaos until he stood face to face with Grune. The clash, when it came, was both inevitable and heartbreaking. Panthro, his every movement honed by years of training and fueled by a desperate hope that he could redeem his former friend, fought with a controlled fury, his nunchucks a whirlwind of steel and energy. But Grune, consumed by his lust for power, fought with a savage abandon, his attacks fueled by a darkness that seemed to consume him from within. The battle raged across the ravaged landscape, a blur of motion and sound, until finally, with a heavy heart, Panthro delivered the decisive blow. Grune, his eyes wide with a mixture of surprise and betrayal, stumbled back, his armor rent, his body broken. He looked at Panthro, his expression a mask of pain and disbelief, and then, with a final shuddering breath, he collapsed, the darkness that had consumed him finally receding. Victory, when it came, tasted like ashes in Panthro's mouth. He had defeated Grune, had saved Thundera from tyranny, but at what cost? He had lost a brother, had been forced to take a life that had once been so dear to him. The cheers of the victorious Thunderian army seemed distant, muted by the weight of his sorrow. He looked around at the ravaged battlefield, at the bodies of fallen comrades, at the scars that marked the once pristine landscape, and he knew that the true cost of victory was often paid in blood and loss. The battle was over, but the scars of conflict ran deep. Thundera, though victorious, lay wounded, its people grieving the loss of countless lives. Panthro, hailed as a hero, felt a profound sense of weariness. He watched as the Thunderian people began the long task of rebuilding their shattered world, their unwavering belief in a brighter future. Thundera would rise again, stronger and more united. Yet a part of him longed for peace, for a respite from conflict. He contemplated stepping down from his position as general, perhaps devoting himself to training the next generation. Little did he know that destiny had other plans. Peace had settled over Thundera, a fragile tranquility woven from sorrow and hope. The scars of battle remained, the shattered remnants of buildings, a constant reminder of the sacrifices made to secure their freedom. Panthro, his body bearing the marks of countless battles, watched young Thunderians clear away rubble, their laughter a bittersweet melody amidst the ruins. It was a future Panthro had fought tirelessly to secure, a future he was relieved to see blossoming. Yet, a weariness settled deep within his bones, replaced by a yearning for peace and a quieter existence. A deep sense of pride swelled within Panthro's chest as he observed the young recruits. He saw in them the future of Thundera, a future where justice and honor prevailed, where the sacrifices of their predecessors would not be forgotten. He had played his part, had fought to ensure the survival of their world, and now he felt a growing conviction that it was time for him to step aside, to allow a new generation to take up the mantle of leadership. The thought of retirement, once a distant whisper, began to take root in his mind, blossoming into a quiet yearning. He envisioned a life away from the battlefield, a life dedicated to passing on his knowledge and experience to those who would carry the torch forward. He could almost taste the tranquility, feel the weight of countless battles lifting from his shoulders. He had shared his wisdom with Leono and Tygra, had witnessed their growth from impulsive cubs to capable leaders. They were ready to guide Thundera into a new era, an era where his constant vigilance was no longer required. He trusted them, believed in their strength, their compassion, their unwavering commitment to their people. He saw a reflection of his own journey in their eyes, the same burning desire for justice, the same unwavering loyalty, the same determination to protect their home at any cost. They would honor his legacy, not through blind emulation, but by forging their own path, by leading Thundera into a future brighter than he could have imagined. The decision to retire, once made, settled over Panthro like a warm blanket, easing the tension that had knotted his muscles for decades. He found solace in the simple rhythms of life on a rebuilding Thundera, sharing meals with old comrades, offering guidance to eager young warriors, his days filled with purpose, yet blessedly free from the ever-present spectre of war. He sought solace in the familiar rituals of meditation, finding peace amidst the cascading waters of a secluded waterfall. The roar of the falls, once a reminder of the tumultuous battles he had faced, now echoed the steady rhythm of his own heartbeat, a grounding force in a world slowly healing from the wounds of conflict. He had embraced the quiet life, had found contentment in the simple act of existence, yet a part of him remained vigilant, his warrior instincts honed over a lifetime of service, whispering of unseen dangers, of battles yet to be fought. He had learned long ago that peace was a fragile thing, a precious commodity to be cherished but never taken for granted. It was during one such meditative retreat that a disturbance rippled through the force, a subtle shift in the air, a tingling sensation that raised gooseflesh on his arms. He opened his eyes, his senses on high alert, and found himself gazing upon a sight that defied explanation. A shimmering orb of light, pulsating with an otherworldly energy, hovered before him, its ethereal glow illuminating the cavern with an eerie radiance. The orb pulsed with an ancient energy, casting flickering shadows across the cavern walls. Panthro approached the glowing sphere, his senses alert. A deep voice echoed within his mind. "Panthro of Thundera, you have been chosen." For what purpose? He could not fathom. He had served Thundera faithfully and earned peace, yet a warrior's intuition warned him of a new destiny. The orb pulsed brighter, filling his vision. Images of worlds consumed by darkness flashed before his eyes. "You are the Paragon of Honor," the voice intoned. "Your courage and strength are needed now." As Panthro disappeared within the orb's embrace, he knew his quiet retirement had ended. He was now a champion of the multiverse, ready for the battle ahead. Panthro felt a sense of disorientation, unlike anything he had ever experienced. One moment, he stood in the familiar tranquility of the waterfall's embrace. The next, he was hurtling through a maelstrom of colours, his senses overwhelmed by a kaleidoscope of unimaginable sights and sounds. It was as if the very fabric of reality had unravelled, revealing a chaotic tapestry of infinite possibilities, a realm where time and space held no meaning. He felt a strange sense of detachment from his physical form, as if his consciousness had been stripped from his body, cast adrift in a sea of pure energy. He saw fleeting glimpses of worlds beyond comprehension, planets teeming with life unlike anything he had ever encountered, celestial beings of unimaginable power, realities so alien they defied description. Time, as he understood it, ceased to exist. It could have been heartbeats or eons that he drifted through this chaotic void, each passing moment an eternity, yet also fleeting as a spark of lightning. He felt a strange sense of peace amidst the chaos, a serenity that transcended the tumultuous energies swirling around him. Then, as abruptly as it began, the chaotic journey came to an end. The colours faded, the cacophony subsided, and Panthro found himself standing on solid ground, his body whole, his senses slowly returning to normalcy. He stood on a platform of obsidian-like material, its surface smooth and cold beneath his feet. The air hummed with a residual energy, a faint echo of the chaotic journey he had just endured. Panthro looked around, his gaze sweeping over the strange surroundings. He stood on a platform that seemed to float in the vast emptiness of space. A figure materialized before him, seemingly woven from the fabric of the cosmos itself. He was tall and imposing, his features obscured by a hooded cloak that shimmered with an ethereal light. "Greetings, Panthro, Paragon of Honor," the figure boomed. "I am the Monitor, and I have summoned you to this nexus point between realities." Panthro met the Monitor's gaze, his own expression unreadable. "The multiverse is dying," the Monitor continued, his voice tinged with sorrow. "A force of unimaginable darkness, the Anti-Monitor, seeks to consume all of creation. You, Panthro, are one of 7 paragons, champions chosen to stand against this threat. And he, Panthro of Thundera, had been chosen to fight against it." The weight of the Monitor's words settled upon Panthro, heavy as a collapsing star. The fate of existence itself rested on his shoulders. The scope of such responsibility would have crippled a lesser being. Yet within Panthro's chest, his heart beat with a steady rhythm, the beat of a warrior's heart. He had lived a life dedicated to justice, to protecting the innocent. Countless battles had tested his resolve. He had faced down tyrants and monsters, his spirit unbroken. This battle for the multiverse was a challenge on a scale he could never have imagined. To stand against the darkness, to fight for the light, to protect life no matter the cost. These were the tenets by which he had always lived. To shy away now would be a betrayal of everything he held dear. A flicker of a smile touched Panthro's lips, a warrior's grin in the face of overwhelming odds. His life was one of service, of duty, protecting those who could not protect themselves. Now fate presented him with the ultimate challenge, to embody honor on an unimaginable scale. You call me Paragon of Honor, Panthro said, his voice echoing with strength. I will not stand idly by while darkness consumes the multiverse. If my strength can bring hope, I will answer your call without hesitation. The monitor inclined his head, a gesture of respect. The fate of the multiverse rests on the combined might of all 7 paragons. Together, you are the light that will banish the darkness. Panthro took a step forward, his gaze fixed on the swirling chaos. He was ready. He was Panthro, Paragon of Honor.